Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Zoom room exercise class. We are now going to have Debbie doing her regular yoga class inside our Plaza Hall. I know it's not in the big room with the mirrors and all the fun exercise room stuff, but this is a much better area for her to be able to Zoom room this class. So let's give it over to Debbie. Stay inside, stay safe and warm, and do yoga with Debbie right here on Zoom room.
Namaste, everyone. Glad you're here. Let's go ahead and lift those shoulders up, roll them back, relax them down, feet about shoulder width apart, palms facing out, mountain pose. When you're ready, let's take a deep breath in. Inhale through the nose, inhale up. Think about a healing breath up, and let's exhale and just bring those arms, float them down. Good. Let's do that again. Deep breath in. Inhale as you go up. Good. And exhale those arms down. We're going to do that one more time. Deep breath in. Inhale up. And exhale down. Good. Staying right here, let's just inhale, shoulders up. Squeeze. Exhale, release that down. Good. And when you're ready, inhale up. Good. Working on strengthening the shoulders and working on that shoulder range of motion. Exhale, lower that down. And we're going to do that one more time. Just deep breath in. Lift and squeeze. Feel that through the back. And exhale, release back into that mountain pose. Let's take a deep breath in here. Inhale the arms up. Good. Keeping those arms up. Poses arms overhead. This one builds heat in the body. So we're going to bring those arms back by our ears. Just keep those arms up for a few breaths. Keeping the abdominal muscles engaged. So belly button in. Good. Holding here. We're going to move into lateral flexion. So when you're ready, let's just drop that left hand by that left side. Reach that right arm up and just slightly over the head. Left arm is pressing down. And again, abdominal muscles engaged, holding there, focusing on our breathing. Great job. And when you're ready, inhale. Let's bring that left arm up. Good. And we're going to exhale. Drop that right arm by that right side. Reach up and over with that left arm. Right arm is sliding down the body. Doesn't that feel great? Nice, gentle stretch. And let's inhale. Bring that right arm up. Both arms up, pulling them back by the ears again. We're going to move into just a leaning tree. So we're going to exhale that breath and hinge the body to that left side. Reaching with that right arm up over the head a little bit. Good. Holding there for a couple breaths. Good. Inhale. Let's bring that up. Exhale. Lean to that right side. Left arm's kind of going up over the head just a little bit. A little leaning tree. Good. Feeling good here. That looks good. Nice stretch. Inhale, bring that up. We're going to exhale, make a fist, bring those arms down by your side. We're going to bring that fist to the low back, just above the hips. Press it there. Pull those elbows in, push your hips forward, and lift the head and chest up towards the sky. Standing back bend, just a nice warm-up pose. You should be feeling a gentle stretch through the abs, maybe feeling this in the low back a little bit. Pull those elbows in, keep that chest lifted nice and high. Oh, feels good. And Let's bring that on up. Deep breath in. Counter pose is our swan dive into airplane pose. So inhale, bring those arms up. Exhale, we're going to swan dive forward, hinging at the hips. We're going to bring that upper body just straight forward. Bring those arms back. Squeeze through the back. Squeeze through those shoulder blades. So head stays up. We have a straight line from our head to our tailbone in this airplane pose. We can turn those palms up and do those little lifts back behind us. I don't know if you can see that, but palms are up and we're just lifting those arms up and back behind us in that airplane pose. From here, we're going to come all the way down into a forward fold. So exhale that breath. Just bring that on down in front of you. Head hangs, arms dangle. Let's do some little pendulum circles with those arms. Feeling stress falling out through the body. Reverse that direction. We're going to move into our monkey pose. So we're going to bring those fingers down and lift that head and chest up in front of us. We can take those fingers and tuck them underneath our toes, lifting that head and chest up. And they call this monkey pose because, I'll just leave that there. While we're here, let's gather our energy. So that energy is here on the floor. Bring those arms together, gather that energy up, and let's stack those vertebrae one at a time. Coming up nice and slowly. Kind of working those vertebrae up one at a time, stacking them on top of each other, noticing how our body is moving in space. And let's bring a deep breath in. Good. And let's go ahead and bring those hands down into our Namaste prayer pose. Good. And right here, fingers together. Let's inhale that breath. Open up through the chest and shoulders right here. Tailbones tucked under. Exhale, bring that back. Squeeze together. And inhale, open. Bring those arms back, squeezing through those back muscles. And let's bring that in. Hands together into our prayer pose. And let's do that again. Inhale, open that up. Good. And exhale, bring that back. And we're going to lower those arms down. All right, we're going to inhale and come up onto our toes, kind of a balance pose. So we've got the chair here, close enough that you can hold on to it. Get close enough to it, feet about shoulder, hip width apart. So holding onto that chair, let's go ahead and bring that left arm up and come up onto our toes. Inhale up and exhale down. If you want to work on balance, just bring both those arms up, inhale up. Ooh, fill in the balance, exhale, bring that down. Challenging, but great balance pose. Inhale up on those toes. Great weight shifting here. Good, and down. And again, you can keep just one finger on that chair if you need to as we bring that up. Shifting that weight. And exhale down. Good. Feel steadier, hand on the chair. Come up. And exhale down. Good job. All right, we're going to start with some of our poses. First one we're going to do is just a little lunge. I'm going to turn sideways on my mat. We're going to step back with that right leg. That heel's going to go straight down, and we're going to bend that left knee. So just a little modified lunge. That chair's there to help us with balance, keeping that chest up. Good. And we should be feeling that in the back of that right leg. Nice little stretch through there. Good. If you want to feel that a little bit more, slide that left foot up a little bit, bend the knee a tiny bit more. Looks good. So we're going to inhale the breath and step that up. Inhale, let's step that on up. Good job. And we're going to step back with that left leg. So left leg goes straight back. We're going to get that heel down. We're going to keep that chest nice and tall. So using that chair to help us, we can slide that right foot forward, bend that knee a little bit more. And let's put some weight in the back of that left leg. So that heel is down. Just just a nice modified lunge. Some people call this a runner stretch, but we should be feeling that just in the back of that left leg through the calf. Feels good. And we're going to inhale and just step that on up. I'm going to turn sideways on our mat again because we're going to do a pose called 5-star balance. So I'm going to hold on with the right hand and the right leg's next to the chair. I'm going to take that left leg out. I'm going to take my left arm out. And now I'm going to put all the weight on that right leg and I'm going to lift that left leg up. So standing on just that right leg, and if we want to work on balance, we're going to lift that right arm up too. So we're just on one leg. We can always set that left leg down if we need to. Working on balance. And then we can kind of work on arms a little bit, shifting, seeing how the body moves in space as we work on balance. So 5-point star. Toes can go down if you need them to, and then you just lift that back up. Or we can put that hand on the chair if we need to, and then lift it back off. Good, we're gonna set that down. All right, now we're shifting to that left leg. So if you're at home, just turn around, shift the weight. Let's bring that right foot down, right arm goes out, and then we're gonna lift that left arm maybe off the chair and lift that right leg up. Good. And we can just hold and focus on our breathing here, but we can also kind of work on arms moving a little bit, seeing how we move in space with that balance. Focus on your breathing. Deep breaths in and out through the nose as we hold this pose. Looks good. Let's set that on down. How'd we do? All right, so some of you know we've been working on our airplane pose, working on balance. We're going to turn towards our chair, close enough that you can touch that chair. And I want you to take that right leg back behind you and put the toes down. Good, and now we're going to take that right arm up in front of us off the chair. We're going to lift that right leg up, and we can keep that left hand on the chair if we want to for balance, or we can lift that left arm up. We can hold here working on balance, but we can also maybe take those arms out. And we can also think about maybe even hinging forward, working on balance. As we hinge forward, taking that right leg up and back, you can always bring that hand down and again, go straight out here. So lots of options in that airplane pose. Good. All right, we're going to do that one again. Close enough to touch the chair, but this time it's left leg back. And we take that left arm up off the seat. Left leg comes up. Right hand can stay on that seat back, or we lift that right arm up in front of us. And again, holding here, or we can take those arms out. And again, hinging forward. So lots of options in this pose. Hand can be on that chair as you hinge forward a little bit, taking that leg back. And then you can try letting go. Or arm forward, forward. And slowly lowering that down. Definitely working on balance there. Great balance pose, one we've been working on for a little bit. Maybe need to work on a little bit more. Tree pose. Standing leg. Let's do right leg, right hand close enough to touch the chair, left toes down. Standing up nice and tall, string lifting that head up. All right, slowly lift those toes up. That hand can stay at the chair, or we can bring those hands to heart center. We can lift that left leg, slide it onto that right leg. And we can hold here, or again, taking those arms up overhead. Working on balance. Focus, breathe, If you step out of the pose, just step right back in. This is just a practice. We may have to start over. How do we move in space? Can we correct without overcorrecting? Focus and breathe. Exhale and release. All right, we're going to shift the weight to that left leg. Again, if you need to turn around, turn around. Right toes are down. Right heel leans on that left leg. Hands at heart center. One hand on the chair. We can just lift those toes up. Maybe a little easier, keeping those hands at our heart center. Those toes are gripping your mat. We're focusing and breathing. Noticing how our body is feeling in the pose. Good. Hang in there. If you step out, just step right back in. Start over. Clear the mind of everything else. Definitely feeling it today. Maybe it's the weather. Hang in there. And let's release that. Ooh, harder today than normal. Good job, everyone. We're going to use the chair to get down on the mat in a few minutes, but we're going to do a few other poses with that chair open. So this time, if you have a good sturdy chair, I want you to turn it around so the seat's open. I'm just going to lift my chair up and turn it around. That's going to help us get down on the floor. It's such good practice to, so important to practice getting down on the floor and getting back up. We're going to use this pose to help us get in and out of a couple of poses. So I want you to hinge forward here. Hands are on the seat. That left foot's right in the middle of the mat. We're going to step back with that right heel. And now we're going to slide those hands onto the seat of the chair. Push those hips back towards that back wall. Our pyramid pose. And we can just drop the head and chest down at this point. Or we can use the legs of the chair to help pull the head and chest down a little bit. Or we can bring those hands down to either side of that left foot. So we're working on tightness in the low back, through the glutes and the hamstrings, using the upper body weight to get into some of those tight spots, focusing on our breathing. Great way to get in and out of some of our warrior poses, starting with that pyramid pose. We're just going to hold this for a few more breaths, allowing those tight spots to loosen up, allowing our breath to get to those tight places and to calm and relax them, increasing that blood flow and oxygen to those muscles. We're going to slowly bring that on up. Use your hands to help you. And we're going to move into our warrior series. So I'm going to bring that upper body on up. I'm going to turn those hips and shoulders square with my chair. With my hands on my hips, I'm going to lunge forward just by bending that left knee. So bringing the lower body down lower while lifting that upper body up taller. Hands can stay at hips. We can bring those hands to our heart center, thumbs touching the heart. We can go cactus arms or even those arms overhead. Warrior one. Working on lower body strength and balance. Focusing on our breathing and how our body's feeling in the pose. Let's bring those hands together. Lower to heart center. And transition to hips. We're going to inhale, bring that up. I'm going to pivot with that right foot, turn it forward. Left foot is still pointed towards the chair. And we're going to open up here through the hips. So we have a nice stretch going on through here with that right foot pointed forward, left foot pointed out to the side. Let's go ahead and float those arms up right at shoulder height. and we'll lunge forward by bending that left knee. We're going to utilize this mat so that right foot could slide out a little bit as we bend that left knee a little bit more. Arms about shoulder height, gazing down that left arm or keeping that head straight ahead. We want to cinch in through the waistline. Focus on our breathing. We're working on lower body strength and balance in Warrior Two. Nice shoulder opening, hip opening pose as we hold that. And we can also bring those hands to our hips and just turn those elbows out if that's a little bit challenging through those shoulders, or we're wanting to maybe rest those shoulders just a little bit. A couple options here. Good. We're going to inhale and bring that up so both legs are straight, arms are still out, and we're going to slowly tilt towards that left leg. That left hand's going to find that chair, right arm's going to go up. So a nice triangle pose here, holding just like this. We can turn and look at that arm that's up. We can look straight ahead. We can look down, all of those, keeping that neck in that neutral place. We can also take that hand off the chair and just slowly slide down that left leg. We want to keep that right arm up, palm facing forward, keeping that shoulder internally rotated. And again, if this is a bit much on that shoulder, just drop that hand down, point that elbow up, giving that shoulder a little love, a little attention, a little care. Focusing on our breathing. What a great pose to open us up through that right side, crunching us through that left side a little bit, getting into those tight spots in that left leg. And I know you're feeling it. Hang in there as we focus on just a few more breaths. Really tuning into the way our body feels here. How this pose is working on balance and strength. Good. So that hand's going to come down and help us bring that on up. We're going to find that chair, bring that on up. And let's go ahead and just heel toe step that on in. Good job, everyone. All right, so we're going to do that on the other side now. Finding that chair, right foot's in the middle of the mat, hands are on it. Let's step back with that left leg as we do that pyramid pose, but now the right foot's forward, left heel has that slight turn out. We're going to slide those hands forward on the chair and push those hips towards that back wall. Sinking into the pose. Getting into those tight spots in this right leg now. So forearms on the chair, we can bring the hands down to the legs of the chair, pulling that upper body down a little bit. We can bring those hands down to the mat. Find the pose that works best for you, or the place that works best for you in this pose. As you exhale, that's when we want to sink down a little bit deeper into this pose. If you have high eye pressure, keep that head above the heart. And we should be feeling the tight spots through the glutes, hamstrings, down into the calves. As you exhale that breath, that's when you want to sink deeper. If that's too much, ease up a little bit. We want to listen to our body. Definitely feeling this pose. Focus on your breathing. One of my favorite poses, this pyramid pose, really getting into some tight spots, helping to calm and relax those tight places in the body, giving them some love and attention. We're going to inhale, bring that up, use that chair to help you. Make sure your feet are lined up. We're going to move into our warrior series, using this chair to help us bring that upper body up. So right foot forward, left leg back, hands on our hips. We're going to turn those hips and shoulders square to that chair. When you're ready, lunge forward by bending that right knee. Hands can stay at hips. Come to heart center. Thumbs touching the heart. Cactus arms or those arms overhead. Warrior one. Working on lower body strength and balance. Feeling it in the top of that right leg. From warrior one, slowly bring your hands together. Lower to that heart center. Transition to hips. All right, we're going to turn that left foot out to the left. Right foot stays pointed towards the chair. I'm going to lunge that up so I can see you guys. But now that right foot's turned out, left foot's forward. So again, we open through the front of the hips. Let's float those arms up, bending that right knee. Warrior two. Gaze down that right arm or straight ahead. Cinching in through our waistline. Looking fierce. Focusing on our breathing. Focusing on how the body feels in this pose, knowing that we're feeling it in the top of this right leg, really building strength, opening through the chest, and nice opening through the front of the hips. Oh, that's going to help us so much. Working on balance and strength. Hang in there. Good. Let's slowly bring that on up. Hopefully your chair's right there. We're going to tilt towards that chair. Left arm goes up, so triangle pose. Hand is on that chair or that hand comes to that right leg, and we slowly slide down that right leg. Triangle pose. Focusing on breathing. Feeling that nice crunch through that right side, that nice stretch through the left side. Feeling that inside that right leg. Getting into those tight spots. We're greasing some joints. Spraying some WD-40 in there. Notice how your body's feeling. You may be noticing the balance of the pose here. That's okay. That's what we're working on. Lower body strength and balance. You can always ease up a little bit. We can always drop that hand down if that shoulder's getting a little tired. Maybe we're nursing that shoulder right now. Let's slowly bring that on up. All right, we could go into a reverse warrior, but we didn't do that on the other side. So let's go ahead and just lower that down, heel toe, step that on in. Good job. How are we feeling? Hopefully you're feeling pretty good about that. Okay, we're now going to use that chair to help us get down on the floor because there's so many good poses that we can do here. So we're going to turn towards our chair, hinging forward again. Let's step back with one leg. Drop that knee down. And let's bring that other leg around and bring those hands down. First pose we'll do, one of our favorites, is cat-cow. We're going to start with cat pose. So I want you to inhale that breath as you lift that head and chest up, kind of looking at that chair, pushing your belly button down towards the floor. Tailbone goes back. We want those wrists just under the shoulders, knees kind of under the hips. And now we're going to just exhale that breath and round. Well, that was cow, sorry. All right, now arch that back up, tuck that chin in, moving into that cat pose. Bringing space between the vertebrae. All right, let's do that again. Head and chest up, cow pose, belly button down. Cow, hips push back. Nice stretch through the abs here. And then we move into cat. We arch that back up, round it, tuck the chin into the spine. It brings space between those vertebrae. So think about it as a stretch for the spine. We're going to come back to a neutral back and move into spinal balance. When you're ready, take that right arm forward, it rests on the shoulder, left leg goes back, height of the spine. We can keep that hand on the chair, or you can just lift it up. If you want to challenge yourself, we can take that arm out to the side and left leg goes out to the left side. And then you can bring that back in and lower that down. We're going to take that left arm out and right leg back. That left arm can go out to the side as the right leg goes out. And then we can bring that back in and set that down. Good. Child's pose. Hips come back. We lower that head down. Bring the big toes together. Child's pose. Such a nice resting pose. Close your eyes. Take a little break. Good. Let's bring that on up. We are going to go onto our belly today. So we're going to lower that down, all the way down onto the mat. Cobra pose, chest up. We can turn and look over our shoulder. We can bring that on up a little bit too, a little more challenging cobra pose. If you really want to work on posture, there's a great pose for yoga for posture that helps open up the chest and strengthen the upper back. We're going to lower that down and go into that pose now. You're going to bring those palms behind you. Lift the head and chest up. Lift those arms up and squeeze through the back. Locust pose. Good. Release. All right. I'm going to turn over and we're going to start on our back now. So seated spinal twist. Let's go ahead and straighten the right leg. Bring that left leg into the chest. I'm going to set my left foot up and over the right leg. And I'm going to take my right leg and tuck it underneath me. We're now going to take our left arm, our right arm, and wrap it around that left leg and reach back with that left hand. Turn and look over that left shoulder. You're a real yogi if you did not hear all those sirens just a second ago. Focusing on your breathing. Such a great pose for massaging the internal organs, really getting into some tight spots in this left hip. Good. Let's release that and then cross. Straighten that leg out. Good. Now, bring that right leg in. Left leg is straight. We're going to cross, take that right foot and lift it up over the left. We're going to take that left leg if you want and tuck it underneath us. Then we're going to take our left arm and cross it over that right leg and reach back with that right hand and turn and look over that right shoulder. Using that left hand to pull that right leg into the chest. We can take that right hand off the mat and extend it behind us. Good. Release that. Hopefully that felt pretty good. Let's uncross and then release that. We're We're gonna lower ourselves down onto our mat. So feet flat, knees bent. Let's lower down all the way onto our back. Well, doesn't that feel nice? Go ahead and bring your knees into your chest and just give yourself a nice big hug. Careful to avoid putting any stress right on the knees. Good job so far. All right, release that. Let's bring those feet down, knees are bent. We're gonna move into our bridge pose. So when you're ready, bring those hands by your side. Pressing through your heels, we're gonna lift our hips up off the ground. So we want that upper body weight to come onto our shoulders. The lower body weight's on the feet. Your hands are by your side, but you can also lace those fingers beneath you and beneath your back, and we can lift maybe those hips up if they start sagging, if your bridge starts sagging. We're gonna hold here. And you know, there's so many options in bridge pose. You can come up onto your toes and really target those calf muscles. And we can hold that for a few breaths and then lower that down. We can lift the toes up off the floor, coming onto our heels with our bridge. And you'll really feel that in the shins. Good. We can do our little pelvic lifts where our hips go down and we push up. So good option there too, those pelvic lifts. And let's slowly bring that down. You know, lower one vertebrae at a time. And then just bring those knees into your chest, giving yourselves a great big hug. Good job, everyone. All right, let's release that. Let's do some abdominal work. We're already on the floor. Lace your fingers behind your head. Maybe the thumbs behind your ears. Back is nice and flat, pushing into the mat. When you're ready, exhale, just curl and roll up, keeping that low back flat on the mat. Eyes high, elbows wide, crunching through that midsection. Inhale when you're ready to lower down. Exhale as you curl and roll up. Again, keeping that head just resting in those hands, elbows wide, eyes high, looking at those beautiful clouds floating by. Inhale as you roll that down. Exhale as you curl and roll up. Inhale down. So we really want to match our breath with our movement here. Exhale, curl and roll. Inhale down. You want a stronger, healthier back. We have to strengthen the midsection. So we really want to be crunching through that midsection. Inhale as you come down. We shouldn't feel it in the neck. That head is resting in the hands, supporting your neck muscles and supporting that head. Good. After abdominal work, counter pose, knees to chest. It'll stretch that low back out. So just bring those knees in again. And we can grab them underneath the knees, or we can lace our fingers together down by the shins. Try to avoid putting any weight and pressure on your knees. We really want to protect those knees. Good job. Let's release that. We're going to set that right foot down. Extend that left leg up, and we can use that pant leg and pull that left leg in towards us. And now we'll just slide that right leg down. And if you want, we can lift that head up towards that left leg. Always keep that head down too. But now we're going to reach up and we're going to grab that big left toe. Right hand's going to come down by our side, and we're going to drop that left leg open. Just keeping that right shoulder down. Getting a nice stretch in that inner thigh through that connective tissue and fascia. I know you're feeling that. Hang in there. We're making our big toe stronger, maybe longer. Good. Release that. All right. Feet are flat. Lift that right leg up. We're grabbing that pant leg and just pulling it in towards us. Maybe lacing those fingers together behind that right leg. And we're just going to lower that left leg down. Good. And now, if you want, we can lift that head up towards that right leg. Good. Lowering that down. Drop that right foot down. Grab that big right toe. Left hand's going to come down by that left side or straight out, either way. And we're going to drop this right leg to that right side. Just as low as you can. You may not get that all the way down, and that's okay. Again, connecting or stretching that connective tissue, that inner thigh, and it gets into that, those tendons, the ligaments, what makes up our fascia. Focus on your breathing here. Good. We're going to release that. All right, so feet are flat, knees are bent. Let's go ahead and move into our modified pigeon pose. We're going to cross the left ankle over the right knee. We're going to lift that up. And now we're going to reach through and lace our fingers together behind that right knee and pull that into our chest. So we're getting that nice stretch right here in that left side in the hip and through the glute muscles. As you exhale the breath, that's when we want to pull this in a little closer to us. Maybe point and flex the feet. So working on that plantar and dorsiflexion. Or maybe just some ankle circles. Doesn't that feel good? Notice how your body's feeling. Really focus your breath to any of those tight areas through the hips. And as you exhale, see if you can maybe pull that in just a tiny bit more. But listen to your body. We definitely want to honor our body in these poses. Good, let's release that. Uncross. We're going to take that right ankle and now cross it over that left knee. And when you're ready, lift that up. Reach through, lace those fingers together behind that left knee, just pulling that in. And this is where we're going to listen to our body. This may be our tight side when we get into this right hip. And we want to work on it. It's better that we do it than somebody else. But we also really want to listen to our body. Something doesn't feel right, ease up. If you feel like you're not giving yourself as good a stretch as you could, maybe pull that in a little bit more. But really notice how that body is feeling. It's like we're spraying a little WD-40 in that right hip joint. And this is one of those poses that we say hurts so good. You're definitely going to feel this pose. So if you're feeling it, hang in there, because I'm feeling it too. One thing that helps is if, again, we work on that dorsi and plantar flexion, just pointing and flexing those feet might take the attention off your hips. And we can also do some little ankle circles. That will feel real good. Better that we work on our hips than somebody else. No one better than us. No one knows your body as well as you do. So such a great way to bring some attention to those tight places in your hips, really help improve the way the hips work. You'll feel better and have more energy when we stretch out that hip joint. Our hips will work better when they're more flexible. The joints work better when we stretch them. The muscles work better when we stretch the joints. All right, good job. Release that. Take those arms out. They're shoulder height. Palms are facing down. Let's just drop your knees bent to the left. And now we're going to turn and look over that right shoulder. So it's a bent knee spinal twist. We're getting a nice stretch through the midsection and that low back as we turn and look over that right shoulder. Good. Inhale, bring that up. Drop the knees bent to the right. Turn and look over that left shoulder. How are we doing? Oh, perfect. Okay. Hang in there. Hopefully this one feels good to you. One of my favorite poses. So good for that low back. Good. Let's bring this on up. And we're going to move into relaxation pose now. So go ahead and just lower one leg down all the way, followed by the other. Turn your palms facing up. Wiggle your fingers and toes and just let them fall open. Close your eyes and relax your facial muscles. Take a deep breath in and exhale that breath and feel your body just melt into the earth. If any part of your body feels tight or tense, bring your breath to that area and relax it. Think about your happy place. Go there. Spend some time breathing and feeling, becoming one with your body. Honor that place in you where the entire universe dwells. Honor that place in you where there is light, peace, and love. When you are in that place in you, and I am in that place in me, we are one. When you are ready to come out of relaxation, begin by gently stretching your body, opening your eyes, coming out of relaxation nice and slowly. Namaste. Good job, everyone. Miss you. Namaste.
Thank you, Debbie, for putting on another great yoga class. We couldn't stay fit without you. We appreciate you making sure everybody is staying fit during this cold time when it's not safe to get out on those icy sidewalks. But you are still making sure that fitness is brought to their homes so they can stay inside, stay safe and warm and fit. Kind of plug my words on that, but you guys have a great day. We'll see you later. Bye. What do you say again, Debbie? What is it? Namaste.
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 Namaste.